When people imagine a road trip across America, they usually picture the highlights, the places everyone tells you that you have to see. And there is plenty to see.
But when you're on the road traveling over 9,000 miles, we discovered that the moments that stayed with us the most weren't always the ones we expected.
We're Mark and Lisa, and we recently bought a Class B camper van and drove it across the country from California to Maine.
We had a route and a loose plan, and we thought we had a pretty good sense of what to expect from the places ahead.
Some of these places were well known. Others barely registered on our radar. But all of them had one thing in common. They challenged our expectations in completely different ways.
On the map, this road looked harmless. We didn't expect anything unusual here. This felt like the kind of place where nothing surprising happens.
We had just left the New River Gorge National Park in West Virginia, and we had heard there was an old historic mining town nearby.
At first, it was quiet and peaceful. The road started to narrow a bit, but not enough to worry about. But then, it just kept narrowing.
And it dawned on us as our big van hogged the small road.
If a car came toward us, there was nowhere to go. And guess what happened? Luckily, we were able to move onto the shoulder, this time. But our camper van was filling up the road. And it kept happening. When the first car had to back up, we got nervous. By the third time, it hit us.
Turning around was not an option. Eventually, the road widened again and the tension eased.
We misjudged this harmless road, and it seemed to be the beginning of a pattern because the very next surprise challenged us in the exact opposite way.
Niagara Falls is one of those places you feel like you already know, even before you've ever been there.
I mean, we've all seen it in photos, postcards, and travel guides, and in movies.
But nothing prepares you for it when you see it in real life. We misjudged Niagara Falls because we thought we knew it.
And we misjudged our next stop, Cuyahoga Valley National Park. It wasn't a destination we'd circled on a map, and if we're being honest, it barely registered in our planning at all.
We didn't expect it to be bad, but we just didn't expect it to be memorable. But once we started hiking, that theory just didn't hold up.
Cuyahoga Valley National Park sits right between Cleveland and Akron, Ohio, which is probably one reason it gets overlooked. It's one of the few national parks shaped as much by history as by nature, built around an old canal system, former rail lines, and landscapes that were once heavily industrial.
It's not dramatic in the way some parks are, but it's layered, peaceful, and surprisingly easy to settle into, which made us realize how easy it is to misjudge a place just because it doesn't shout for attention. Located between Michigan's upper and lower peninsulas on Lake Huron, Mackinac Island is one of the few places in the country where cars simply aren't allowed. Just bikes, horses, and people moving at a completely different pace.
Mackinac Island has been car-free for more than a century. In the late 1800s, automobiles were banned after early cars frightened horses and disrupted daily life, and the ban was never lifted.
Today, transportation on the island is limited to walking, bicycles, and horse-drawn carriages, making it one of the only places in the U.S. where modern traffic simply doesn't exist.
What surprised us wasn't just the history.
It was how quickly that slower rhythm takes hold once you arrive.
By the time we reached Maine, the road felt quieter. Not because the places were smaller, but because we were listening differently.
After weeks of movement, miles, and moments that kept challenging our expectations, we weren't trying to anticipate what came next anymore. We were just present. Maine simply unfolded, slowly, steadily, with a kind of beauty that felt grounded and honest. And after everything we'd seen on the road, it felt easy to just be there, without expectations. The road reminded us that America is best understood one place at a time.